Hello everyone and welcome to The Big Story, where we discuss the hottest topics right here in the heart of the newsroom. I'm Haryanto, coming to you live from the Straits Times. Now we are streaming on Facebook and on YouTube, so be sure to comment, share and like our video. While you are at it, hit the bell button so that you will be alerted to our videos. Now I have my newsroom colleagues joining me to talk about the stories that got you talking today. Now in local news, more than 600 parents have signed a petition for the Ministry of Education or MOE to review the PSLE scoring system for mother tongue languages. This follows MOE's announcements that foundation level subjects will be pegged to a grading of AL6 to AL8 of the standard level subjects. Now, these concerned parents are those who have children studying a foreign language instead of an official mother tongue language and children with special needs. MOE said the rationale for the scoring policy needs to be grounded in its educational philosophy, with importance placed on the study of MTL. To tell us more, I have senior education correspondent Sandra Devi. Welcome, Sandra.
Thank you, Haryanto.
Pleasure to have you again here. Now, Sandra, if you could briefly tell us, what the petition is all about. What does it entail?
Okay, first of all, I just checked before coming on this show, and there are over 2,500 signatures.
Wow, so it has doubled.
To that, more than double.
More than doubled, yeah.
To the petition since I wrote this story for Monday. Basically, the petition was started by a mother whose child is exempt from offering mother tongue language, which is one of the official mother tongue languages. The daughter instead offers French in lieu of Mandarin. But she doesn't offer it as a PSLE subject, so she's exempt from sitting for French as a PSLE subject. So currently, students who are exempt from mother tongue language for PSLE are given a score based on the MTL scores of their peers who had similar scores for the other three subjects, English, Maths and Science. And the mother accepted this and got the daughter exempted. But under the new scoring system, which will apply to her daughter, it will still be based, MOE will take reference from the MTL score of other students with similar scores in the other three subjects. But they've also said that they'll be pegged to the lowest three levels of the standard PSLE subject level. So some parents, like the parent who started the petition, feels that this is pegged at too low a level and it will disadvantage her daughter in terms of the choices of secondary schools that she wants to go to. She also feels that since she had already made the decision to exempt her child from MTL some time ago, it shouldn't be applied to those who are already currently in primary school, that it can perhaps apply after 2023 instead of 2021 when the new system will come into place. So quite a few parents come under that group. But there's also another group of parents who have joined this petition, and these are parents with kids with special needs, educational needs like autism, dyslexia and so on. And their kids are exempt from taking mother tongue language. They probably do not offer any other, they do not take up any other language as well. And in their case, their argument is, my child is already disadvantaged because of a special need, and they feel that the new scoring system kind of disadvantages them even further.
And Sandra, clearly you have interviewed these parents who signed the petition. Now, in your opinion, do you think their concerns are justified?
Well, I mean, they have their point of view, and as I've said, and as the petition says, they have raised these points and asked the ministry to consider postponing the changes and then revising it as well, because they feel that it's not fair. But on the other hand, MOE has its own reasoning as to why it came up with this new scoring system. So one of the arguments that MOE put forward was there are other pupils who are weak in mother tongue language, also struggling as much, and some of them even with special learning needs, but who are still offering mother tongue language as a foundation level subject. And the highest they can score is AL6, right, for mother tongue. So it won't be fair if these students who are exempt are given a score higher than AL6. Right? So that's MOE's rationale. But also, you know, MOE has always emphasized the learning of mother tongue languages as being very important, and it's been a cornerstone of our education system and policy. So they feel that they need to keep to that as well. And they also feel that this is a very small percentage of parents, it's about 3.5%. And they can't set a separate PSLE exam for all the other foreign languages. That is not very feasible.
And Sandra, you know, now that all the announcements to the changes in the PSLE scoring system are laid out, and parents know how their children will be graded for the national exam, any tips for them?
Well, you know, from next year onwards, the school exam results are going to be given based on the new scoring system. So my advice to parents is get familiar with the new system. Try and look at, you know, where your child does well and where she doesn't do that well, and where you can help her further. And start thinking about your choices of secondary schools. In 2020, MOE will be releasing quite early the entry scores for the secondary schools, again based on the new scoring system. So they will have a lot more time to decide which secondary school for their kid and which schools their kid will be able to make it to. Thank you again, Sandra, for coming on to the show, you know, to tell us more about the changes and, of course, to the new scoring system for mother tongue languages. Now, for more on this, you can visit our website at www.straitstimes.com. Once again, thank you, Sandra. Now, moving on to our second segment, you're having a good night with your friends after a long week at work, enjoying good food and drinks. Now, you get home, you sleep, and the next morning you wake up with a throbbing pain in your joints. You think that you probably partied too hard? The pain persists even with rest, and upon examination by your family doctor, you are diagnosed with gout. But you're only in your prime 20s. You think, doesn't gout only strike the old? Now, gout used to be thought of as a rich old man's disease striking people in their 50s. For decades, however, gout sufferers have gotten younger, with some getting it in their 30s. Now, to tell us more, I have food editor Tan Xue Yin with me. Xue, hello.
Hello.
This is your first time on The Big Story?
I know. I'm so excited.
Nervous?
Yes.
Don't worry, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. No, so first up, Xue, tell us, briefly, what is gout and who are often at risk?
Okay. So gout is a very painful kind of arthritis, and it usually happens, sort of strikes you when you least expect it to. And usually it's men who get it. And these could be males from teenagers to people in their 50s and 60s. And women don't tend to get it because estrogen, the female hormone, protects us from it. But women, postmenopausal women, are in danger of getting gout. So basically what happens is that when uric acid builds up in your body, it can trigger gout attacks. But not everyone with high uric acid will get gout. It's just, you know, some people do.
Some people do. And of course, you interviewed these unsuspecting younger men, right, who were diagnosed with gout. If you could tell us now, how are they like? What was their lifestyle prior to the attack?
As far as I know, they seem quite healthy. They're into the healthy living kind of thing. One of them works out regularly. It's just that there are certain things kind of triggered the gout attack. So with one of the people I interviewed, he had broken his ankle in a touch rugby game when he was in secondary school, and that can kind of trigger gout attacks, broken bones, fractured bones, that sort of thing. And he has a family history. Both of the guys have family history of, their fathers have gout.
Yep.
And with the other one, it was, again, a strong family history. And both of them woke up with pain in their ankle. And it was excruciating.
Yeah.
Right? If anyone who has ever had a gout attack would know that it really is very painful.
Yeah.
So, usually it strikes the big toe.
Yep.
Yeah, but with some people it can be the ankle or the knee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the joint areas usually.
That's right. Yeah, and usually just one joint because I think might be kind of horrendous if it was striking two joints.
Right. And in your article as well, of course, in the profiles that you interviewed, they had family members who were sufferers of gout. But in your story also, you wrote drinks and food sweetened with high fructose corn syrup and fructose heavy fruit juices are identified as culprits.
Yeah.
How is this so?
Well, okay, so what happens is that, for many decades, people thought that the triggers for gout would be shellfish, red meat, alcohol, right?
Yeah.
But sweet things have sort of recently become the new culprits.
Oh, okay.
And the reason is because when your body breaks down high fructose corn syrup, it releases purines.
Yeah.
Purines break down to uric acid, and uric acid can trigger a gout attack.
Right.
So that's why, that's why one of the guys, right, he had a lot of soft drinks at Chinese New Year, and his purine levels shot up. Yeah. So that's why people. That's why the new bogeyman is high fructose corn syrup,
foods.
Yeah.
Now that said, Shah, if you could share with us, then how can one lower the risk of getting gout in terms of, let's say, lifestyle, or because being the food editor, right, diet choices.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's really tough. The doctor I spoke to was saying that one of the fastest way to stop this uric acid level from going haywire, right, is to cut out soft drinks.
Okay.
And and the problem with high fructose corn syrup is it's not just in soft drinks. It's in bottled sauces.
Okay.
It's in baked goods. It's in a
Sometimes
lot of
like hidden sugars, right?
Exactly.
Hidden sugars,
So you have to be really careful. But at the same time, you can't be drawing up a perfect diet plan that you can't follow. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? So you have got to, I hate to say this, but you have to do things in moderation, eat things in moderation, and just know your limits, So one of the people I interviewed, he stopped drinking completely alcohol. Alcohol is one of the triggers as well, especially beer.
Yeah.
Because, beer, breaks down and then your purine levels shoot up. So he stopped drinking. Right, and the other guy who had the gout attack or his purine levels shot up after he had a lot of soft drinks, he's just going to moderate the consumption the next festive season, right? So and they stick to proteins that don't trigger gout. So red meats, organ meats, you try and steer clear of them as much as you can, and then stick to fish. One of them has baked salmon, the other one chicken. So there are safe foods. There are safe foods that you can take, and and things that might trigger an attack.
Right.
So and I think you really kind of need to exercise, and you need to probably take the medication as well, which is very difficult for someone who's in their 20s or their teens, right?
Yeah.
But it can keep the condition at bay.
Right.
So that's one thing to consider. Is really to be serious about medication
as well, right. Once again, thank you so much, Shah, for coming to the
you.
show. That was not so bad, right?
No.
We will see more of you, I hope.
I hope.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me write some big stories.
Yeah.
Yes.
So once again, thank you so much, Shah, for coming to the show. To tell us more about gout and really to share about the profiles that you interviewed who suffered from gout, and they're really unsuspecting victims, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Victims whom hey, they're in their prime. Yeah. They've done, like if there is ever a book that says, you exercise well, you eat well, and all that, you'll be okay. But it seems for them, it just strikes.
Yes, and they didn't even connect the pain that they were suffering
to gout.
With gout,
they probably thought that, it's just I partied too hard or I exercised too hard.
Or maybe it was, I exercised too hard or my broken ankle is giving me problems again. But it wasn't just the ankle acting up.
All right, so once again, thank you so much,
Thank you.
Shreya. Now, earlier on, we spoke to our senior education correspondent, Sandra, who shared with us a bit more about the petition to review PSLE scoring system for mother tongue languages. And then we had our first time on TBS, Shreya, the food editor, to share a bit more on what one can do to lower the risks of gout. So that is all we have for you. Those are our top stories for the day. For more news and videos, do log on to our website at www.straitstimes.com. Once again, I'm Haryanto. Join us tomorrow, same time, for more stories on The Big Story.